If walking into a shopping mall on Saturday makes you want to fake your own death, congratulations. Your nervous system just protected you from a neurological disaster most people are too numb to recognize. And no, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just awake in a world that's asleep. Imagine this. It's the weekend. Someone texts you, "Let's hit the new mall. It's packed, but everyone's there." And instantly, every cell in your body screams, "Run." Not because you're afraid of shopping, not because you're antisocial, but because your brain just ran the numbers and realized the cost of that experience would bankrupt your entire nervous system. You're not defective, you're not difficult, and you're absolutely not the problem here. Your psychology is just operating on a completely different frequency than everyone else's. Let me show you exactly what's happening inside that incredibly complex brain of yours. Number one, your nervous system is basically a high-definition security camera, and that's brilliant. Most people walk through life with their brain's blur filter permanently on. Enter a crowded space, their system automatically fuzzes out 95% of the data, that person's perfume, the fluorescent lights humming, the 23 different conversations overlapping. Your brain, it's recording everything in crystal clear detail, analyzing, cataloging, cross-referencing every single input. Neuroscientists call this heightened environmental awareness. Translation: your brain is that person who remembers every detail of every conversation and can't unsee anything. Every shoulder that brushes past you, every facial expression in your peripheral vision, every shift in ambient noise, your system is processing all of it simultaneously. It's like everyone else is experiencing life through a soft-focus Instagram filter, and you're stuck with raw, unedited reality you never signed up for. Studies show roughly 15 to 20% of people have this amplified sensitivity, meaning 1 in 6 humans is navigating the world with their alert system permanently switched to maximum. And here's what makes it more intense. Your brain doesn't just register this information. It archives it, analyzes it, and keeps pulling it up for reference. That weird interaction at the grocery store 2 months ago that nobody else noticed? Your brain categorized it under potentially significant and reviews it regularly. It's not paranoia. It's your neural architecture doing exactly what evolution designed it to do: detect patterns that slip past everyone else entirely. Here's the fascinating part. This trait was a survival advantage for thousands of years. While the social butterflies were enjoying the gathering, your ancestors were the ones who spotted the approaching threat, who recognized the poisonous plant, who sensed danger while everyone else was distracted. You're not malfunctioning. You're exactly what kept the species alive. But modern society, yeah, it wasn't built for people who actually notice everything. Number two, you're not avoiding people, you're avoiding the theater. Let's be clear about something. You don't dislike humans, you dislike the performance. In crowded places, everyone's playing a character. The "I'm totally fine" character, the "I'm having a great time" character, the "everything's under control" character, even though their jaw is clenched tight enough to crack teeth. And you see through every single performance. It's mentally exhausting. Not because you're critical, but because your brain is continuously decoding the actual communication happening underneath the spoken words, the micro-expressions, the energy shifts, the unspoken truth everyone's working so hard to hide. Researchers call this elevated perceptual accuracy. Your emotional detection system is so precise, you're essentially a truth scanner who never applied for the position. Research from behavioral psychology shows that people who actively avoid crowds typically score significantly higher in authentic communication preference than their crowd-seeking peers. Translation: you're not socially challenged, you're socially refined. You just won't participate in collective pretending. You'd rather have one genuine interaction at midnight than endure 100 surface-level exchanges where everyone's performing their carefully curated public persona. And honestly, that's not a weakness, that's authenticity. The issue isn't that you can't handle small talk. It's that your nervous system experiences it like eating styrofoam while everyone else pretends it's a gourmet meal. Your brain hungers for substance, meaning authentic connection. And when forced into superficial interactions, it's like asking a deep-sea diver to get excited about a kiddie pool. You're capable of it, technically, but at what internal cost? Number three, your reward system runs on a completely different operating system. Here's where your neurology gets really interesting. Serotonin, the brain's contentment chemical, functions entirely differently in you. When crowd lovers walk into a bustling space, their brains release a serotonin celebration, balloons, streamers, the whole production. Your brain? Complete silence. Instead of serotonin from social density, your system produces it from GABA, a different neurotransmitter entirely that rewards calm environments, focused attention, and here's the key: solitude. It's not that crowded spaces don't offer you rewards. It's that your brain literally derives its satisfaction from completely different sources. Reading in a quiet corner at dawn, taking a walk where nobody interrupts your thoughts, sitting in an empty room just processing. While crowd seekers need external chaos to feel energized, you need internal spaciousness to access your complete operating capacity. Brain imaging research reveals that solitude-preferring individuals show increased gray matter density in regions responsible for imagination and self-awareness. So when you're doing nothing, your brain is actually doing everything: synthesizing, creating connections, building understanding. You're not being unproductive, you're conducting internal symphonies while everyone else is listening to static. That's not abnormal, that's cognitive sophistication. Number 4. You're essentially an emotional antenna tower. Ever enter a space and immediately sense something's off, even when everyone's smiling? That's because your brain has what neuroscientists call hyperactive empathy circuits. You don't just perceive emotions, you absorb them involuntarily. Spend 2 hours in a crowded environment, and you're not just managing your own emotional state. You're accidentally downloading everyone else's stress, anxiety, frustration, and chaos like some kind of psychological receiver you never volunteered to be. It's cognitive flooding. Your system is attempting to process 200 people's emotional frequencies while simultaneously trying to maintain your own equilibrium. No wonder you need 48 hours to recover from a 90-minute outing. But here's the superpower aspect. This makes you one of the most emotionally intelligent people in any environment. You understand what's not being said. You detect what people need before they articulate it. You read the invisible currents everyone else misses completely. Most humans barely comprehend their own feelings. You're out here comprehending everyone's feelings simultaneously. That's not a burden. That's a capacity most people couldn't handle if they tried. And finally, number 5, you're not escaping life, you're choosing yourself. Society has this bizarre obsession with equating constant activity and perpetual socializing with success and fulfillment. If you're not at every gathering, documenting every moment, surrounding yourself with people constantly, you're somehow failing at existence. But here's what they don't grasp. You've understood what most people spend lifetimes avoiding. Empty spaces aren't void. They're where insight lives. Solitude isn't loneliness. It's where you discover who you actually are. You're not missing anything. You're deliberately opting out of a system that was never designed for people who think deeply, feel deeply, and perceive deeply. You understand something profound. The quietest spaces often contain the most powerful truths. Your peace isn't avoidance, it's intentional living. So the next time someone asks, "Why don't you come out more?" remember this. They're really asking why you won't deplete yourself to fit into environments that were never built for minds like yours. You're not broken. You're not boring. You're not antisocial. You're simply designed for depth in a world that celebrates noise. And honestly, that's precisely what makes you remarkable. So tell me, are you team crowds energize me or team I'd rather befriend a houseplant? Let's connect in the comments. If this resonated deeply, the next video explores another misunderstood trait that will feel uncomfortably accurate.